Music is a powerful thing. This is probably the least controversial statement I will ever make as a music critic. But I do think it's worth mentioning that in our day-to-day lives, consuming music primarily through streaming, we sometimes underestimate, if not outright forget, music's capacity to move, inspire, heal, and help people today as much as it has throughout history. And nowhere, to me, is this fact more prevalent in today's Nordic music than in the music of Sami musicians, such as with Katarina Barruk and her new album RUHTTUO. So without further ado, let's dive in. Now, as this is just an album review, I won't be talking much about the actual history of the Sami peoples, nor do I really think it would be my place to tell such a story anyway. So instead, I'd urge those of you who aren't familiar with this subject or this area, who want to learn more, to seek out Sami-run resources and organizations on your own, such as the IWGIA, which I've linked down below. Now, understanding Sami history is by no means a prerequisite for enjoying or appreciating Katarina Barruk's latest album. But as the purpose of what I do here on the Nordic Sound Channel is to advocate for a greater appreciation of this music, I want to highlight the importance of language, specifically the Sami, in appreciating what Katarina Barruk has to show us in RUHTTUO. But first, before we get into all that, let's listen to the opening track to put some music in our ears. This lovely bit of music is from the first track, excuse my pronunciation, Miralaunda, and as with all of her music, sung in Sami, a UNESCO Red List language with an estimated only 100 speakers, including, of course, Katarina. Now, with this context, the preservation and celebration of this language and culture is a significant driving force behind the music according to her own written statements. But as one can read on her website, it's also deeply personal for her too. She's kind enough to share with us on her website that because she grew up effectively having not really anyone to speak her native language with, or living where her native tongue was even frowned upon, unfortunately, it is now in her music where her language is the only language, and it's hers to use to freely express herself. That's not just the beauty, but the power of music. But of course, there's far more to RUHTTUO than its symbolic and linguistic meaning, as important as it is. There are some truly standout moments of music in this album on top of all of this. I already highlighted the captivating middle section of Miralaunda, but we're also given a glimpse into more traditional Sami vocalization in the closing section of the same tune, as well as Gita. Again, excuse my pronunciation. Check it out for something completely new for probably most of us. Now even more, there's a beautiful lyrical refrain in Vastade, a stunning use of harmony in Somi's Bevi, a hell of a groove in Tiautula Butala, and of course my personal highlight, just in general, really clean, smooth bass work all throughout the album. So in sum, there is an incredible amount of musical variety to be found on this album, and for that reason, I highly recommend it, as I'd be surprised if there wasn't at least a little something for everyone to enjoy on RUHTTUO. It's just a cornucopia of just musical variety, which is always a bonus to an album in my book. Now, we are fortunate this year to be joined by Katarina Barruk at Midgardsblot, where she'll be performing her music in Gildehallen, where we'll be welcomed into her sound and language world in an incredibly intimate and unique space. This is one of my personal most anticipated parts of the Midgardsblot lineup, and I couldn't be more humbled or ecstatic to look forward to such an experience. I hope those of you who attend the festival get a chance to be there for her music, even though I know that the Gildehallen fills up pretty fast. But if not, you can still listen to RUHTTUO for your very own glimpse into Katarina's dreamy, evocative, and powerful sound world. And so friends, that wraps up my review of Katarina Barruk's RUHTTUO. It was so funny because I had this album on my sticky note lineup of albums to review for the longest time, and then she was announced at Midgardsblot, and I was like, well, no time like the present. So I'm so glad that I finally got around to making a review for this for you guys. I hope you get the chance to check it out because it's an absolute delight. So if you like the video, be sure to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and if you want to help out the channel more directly, head on over to Patreon linked below, where I will be starting very soon a monthly newsletter. But until then, you can join the mailing list on the website, NordicSoundChannel.com, which launches with this review. This way, you'll never have to miss a review or an update again without checking social media. So, thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you the next time on the Nordic Sound Channel.